Hey, y'all. Okay, so you know what? Leave it to the Germans to invent all this really cool shit, okay? I mean, like, even back in during World War II, I think it was the Messerschmitts. The pilot wouldn't have to worry about fuel mixture or the supercharger, just give it some stick and go because they attached these gadgets onto the engine that would control everything and would take the workload off during combat. Good idea, right? Fast forward today, and it's like, hey, I got a good deal on a used Mercedes. Hey, you think you did until you had to bring it to your mechanic, and he had to order parts he's never even heard of. Then he gives you a bill for like $1,200 because he had to replace just one shock absorber that had to be reprogrammed. I don't know. Well, what is it? If you go to Berlin, what is it? A bunch of guys in lab coats sitting around? Hmm, what can we create next that's really intelligent or makes us look very intelligent? Oh man, it's like, okay, so what else do they create? Oh, pharmaceuticals, yeah, yeah. Okay, so, earlier I was talking about, xylazine. Yeah, it was invented by the Germans. Okay, so yeah, it's called Trank, and, in the street name of Trank. And so, anyways, you know what? The junkies don't care what kind of cocktail they're getting, whether they're smoking it or injecting it into their bodies. They don't care. They just want their fix. Pretty straightforward. And I don't care what they get. Okay, so yeah, getting windy out here. So you, as a good Samaritan, are driving down the road and you see some guy laying there and think to yourself, "Oh, I know what to do." So you get out the Narcan before his, membership to the Being Alive Club gets revoked. So, and you hit him up with Narcan, and he doesn't get up and say, "Hey, you ruined my buzz," and get all pissed off at you. What's going on? Well, it's because you need tolazine. That's right. And not too many people carry tolazine kits or even heard of that. And that's the antidote to xylazine. Because there is a chance that the reason he's staying asleep is because it's not the fentanyl or the opioid, it's the xylazine. Yeah. What can you do, eh? Anyways, yeah, just call 911. So, anyways, yeah. So, yeah, here's the one thing they don't talk about. It's also called the flesh eating zombie drug. Yeah. Yeah, I mentioned xylazine before. But yeah, the flesh eating zombie drug. What is going on with that? You see, it just has this properties that are pretty just not good for the body. I mean, like, it causes necrotizing skin ulcerations because it's somewhat a vasodilator and it's constricting the very small microscopic blood vessels and capillaries under your skin. So I guess, I don't know, the subdermal layer or the epithelial cells just don't get enough oxygen or nutrients and they get ulcerating sores in their body that are actually like flesh-eating virus kind of thing or gangrene, and it gets worse. And left untreated, well, they're just their foot just rots right off their body. Pretty sad, yeah. So that's the one thing about uh, that new drug called Trank. Yeah, that a lot of people don't really talk about or really know about that much. Because, yeah, it's also called the flesh eating zombie drug. Yeah, like I said, the junkies don't care what they get as long as they get their fix. But, anyways, what else? Oh, what else did the Germans invent? Let's see. Oh, here's a fun fact. Yeah, well, not really all that fun. If you walk running around in the 1940s with a Mauser, through Belarus or Poland, and you're on a 3-day killing spree, and you're even shooting at people that don't exist. Yeah. Why? Because you're all strung out on methamphetamine. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, believe it or not, the Germans invented that one too. Yeah, methamphetamine to keep their soldiers going. The soldiers of the Waffen SS. Keep them going, keep them fighting. But you know what? Back then, it had the same effect as it does now. You're hearing things, you're seeing things, you're hallucinating. That's why they're going around not just on a killing spree, but shooting at people that aren't even there. So yeah. So that's the one thing that people don't realize about methamphetamine. You know, it can rewire your hookup. Some say it's permanent, but I don't know. Individual results may vary. But that's the one thing they don't really talk about, or people don't talk about. They just see someone, you know, what do they call it? The Hastings Shuffle? which means East Hastings Avenue in Vancouver, just the way they act and walk around, and I don't know. Yeah, so you can always tell these people on meth just by the way they're just flailing their arms around, and but yeah, people just talk about that and how unsightly it looks and how bad it looks, but they just never talk about how it can, and like I said, rewire your hookup. And also, what happens is, yeah, this is one thing people don't really talk about that much. It's the fact that, after a while, you know, you become dehydrated and you become malnourished, because you're just not eating and drinking or sleeping or anything like that. It's really bad for the body. And so, yeah, it's one thing really people don't really see about what's really going on. So, a person may become so malnourished that, it becomes uh, life-threatening, or they have kidney failure, and from being just, they're just going and going and going and not drinking enough fluids. So, and of course, it just really messes up your head and seeing things or hearing things. So yeah, even though you see people acting all crazy like that, yeah, that's the one thing people don't really understand about what's really going on with that drug. So yeah. So, uh, yeah, it's pretty sad. Anyways,